Hello, brother sewing and crafting family. Angela Wolf here, and I'm so excited to see you this week. Guess what? All of our snow melted. I'm so excited about that. I only like it for the week of Christmas, so it could come back in the next few days. But in the meantime, we're in our studios sewing, crafting. Say hi, say where you're from, and I'm so excited to see you all. So, by the way, I would love to know how many people have been watching the last few shows, because there have been some great ideas for ornaments, for holiday decorations, for so many different things, table decor. Have you watched any of those shows, and have you sewed any of that? Because we would love to see it. Don't forget to use hashtag BrotherSews. So today we have two other fabulous educators. One of them will be here in just a second. We've got Tina Bartelmay and we've got Colleen Swettman joining us. We're going to talk about last minute gift ideas. So Tina, how are you?
I am doing great, Angela. I'm so happy that it's not snowing today because we've had tons of snow here in Tennessee.
You know, it's really funny. Yesterday, I was flying home and my husband and I were going over. I'm like, look at all those clouds. They look like mountains. I go, I hope that's not our house. He goes, no, we're still an hour and a half away. That's Tennessee. So I saw your snow from above you, and you got a lot.
We did.
We did. All right. So we also have Colleen Swettman. Here we go. Hey, Colleen, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Bill twisted the computer and it cut us off a second.
Oh, well, nice to have you back.
Nice to be back.
We are going to, I kind of gave a teaser. We're talking about last minute gift ideas. And if I even think past the last couple of years, things that you guys have given ideas on, they're so easy, so fun, using a lot of the brother features. I'm really excited to see what you have to share today. So, well, Colleen, why don't you kick it off for us?
Okay, I'm doing something that's really easy. When I looked at my, it said scarves, and I went, oh, scarves, I love scarves. And one of the things that I love the most is a scarf that is useful. So this scarf, and I'm going to put it, I'll hold it up for you first, and then I'll put it on, because it has a purpose in life. So its purpose in life is to hold my junk, because it has pockets. Let me hold it up so you can see the pockets. It has button pockets. So I made it originally a long time ago with zippers in it, and it was great, but kids couldn't always handle the zippers. And this one I made shorter, and I put buttons and buttonholes on it. It is going to be my new traveling on an airplane or in the car scarf, because you can put what you need to get out of your pocket right here in the pocket and just unbutton it and keep it right handy. Usually I have my phone someplace handy, but on the airplane, oh my gosh, if you put something down, it vanishes and it's never to be seen again. So now I have all these pockets, and they're going to be great. And it's super, super, super easy. I did mine in flannel because it doesn't slip and slide very much, so I like that. And I did it in plaid, so it won't show if I spill. Did I say that out loud? Oh. So it's a super easy piece. It has two pockets, two little backing pieces, and then you throw the whole thing together and stitch it. It's just super, super easy. And I made buttons this time, buttons and buttonholes, because I thought they were so much fun. And it's something that we don't show very often. But I have to say, buttonholes on, and I'm using the Stellaire today, but it doesn't actually matter which one of the brother machines. Most all of them have great button and buttonhole choices. And this is probably an icon no one's ever touched before. It's the
Hey, Colleen, just real quick, I'm going to take you out just for a second for you guys just to adjust your mic, because it's really blurry for some reason, and it could just be all the snow that's in Tina's house. But just if you could just either lower that and just lower it just a little bit. I'll take you out for a second and then bring you back in. Sound good? All right, Tina. I'm going to skip ahead to you because I think I could just hear just a little feedback, and I want everyone, this is such a great project. I don't want them to miss that. So Tina, I'm going to let you take it away.
All right. Well, I have a scarf idea too, and I use the sublimation printer. So while Colleen is going to get us covered for useful, mine are more fashion oriented or personal interest oriented, but they're super quick because I did say the sublimation printer. So let's pop over here and I'll walk you through what I did. So here's my blank. I got it at one of the discount retailers that sells things for about $1. And it's 100% polyester. Now, typically when we talk about sublimation, we talk about having something that's totally white. And you can see this one's off-white a little bit, but it's still printed really, really nicely, all right? So there's our blank. So check this out. So my daughter, who loves to travel, I printed hers with passport stamps. Isn't that cute? I love
That's
that.
really cute.
And then, you know, it is the winter and we've had so many gray days here in a row now, I can't hardly stand it. So when you need a boost of color, this little rainbow one is, I think, really nice too, because I love the colors on it. But I saved my very favorite one for last. And so check this out. I took a picture of my dog and then I brought in a little clip art that says dog mom and I made my own seamless pattern with it and printed a scarf with my dog on it. So let me put it on for a second because he's just so cute. Check him out. I can take my dog with me everywhere now. Isn't he cute?
Oh my gosh, that is adorable. That is absolutely adorable.
So imagine doing that. You could do it with your grandkids' pictures, or you could do it with your husband's collectible car, or for you, maybe some fish would be nice, right? And then
That would be awesome.
And then if you want matching gloves, check out, just make the pattern a little bit smaller. And now you have the matching scarf and glove set. And literally this is from start to finish less than an hour to get everything done, right? So for those of you in a hurry, this would be a great option for you.
That's really cute. That's really cute. Hey, Colleen, did you see that scarf? We've got dogs. I'm going to do fish. I'm not sure what we're going to give to you yet.
Oh, I'm doing dogs. I've got a beautiful Akita, and he would make such a pretty picture on that scarf.
Oh gosh. And by the way, your volume's much better. So everyone's going to be really excited because I didn't want them to miss that tutorial. So thanks for doing that.
Okay, great. This is an easy peasy, simple, and I just did button sewing on because a lot of times people don't know how to do that. So with the machines, and with all of the Brother machines, I believe you get the button sewing on foot, which is pretty smart. And then there's a button sewing on icon, and you just simply touch it on the screen. You can see it's highlighted here, and it looks like a button with thread on it. And all you have to do is press the start button. You know, I usually do the hand crank first to make sure I don't pierce the button. And don't ask me how I know that. But if you do hit the button with the needle, it'll crack it. Oh, he's telling me to sit to the right. That's my left ear. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I've already stitched this, and it just did a real quick 8 stitches, and then it does a tie off, and it's all done. And I've cut it, and I'm just going to take it and pull it off. I wanted to show you this foot because this foot is, let's see, where can I put it so you can see it really easily? Right there. There we go. It's right here. It's the M foot. It comes with most all the machines, and you just literally slide the button into it. And it's so clever. It has this little slidey thing, and the slidey thing slides forward. So if you're doing a shank button, it will sew it longer so you have the shank better. So this is pretty cool. You can just slide it right in like that, set it up, and it sews your buttons on for you. And I'm not saying I'm lazy. I like to use the word efficient, but that's how I do all my buttons. So this guy is ready to go. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to lay it out here on the table so that you can see how I put it together. Let's see. I need a buttonhole. So let's do the buttonhole. And I can do one of those really fast because you know how you do a buttonhole really fast? You just put the button in, and I sewed my button on so I can't put it in. So I'm just going to leave it at the right size, and I'm going to put this down on it. There we go. And you have to pull this little icon down right here. After you choose your buttonhole, you have to pull this guy down. And if you don't, you won't get the green light, the green for go, which of course is what you want. So now we're just going to put this fellow right in here. And we're going to let him sew a perfect buttonhole. Now the buttonhole stitch from back to front, so from down here to the top. So you want to make sure that you've allowed yourself enough room to do that. And then it's just simple. Let's just. That it grinded was because I hadn't used the controller earlier, and it expected me to use the controller. Notice that it does a 3-stitch knot and then a cut. There's a perfect buttonhole. And
Coming back up here, Colleen. I'm sorry, I'm going to take you out just for a second. I don't know what's going on with the mic, but I think it keeps breaking up. So I'm taking you out for 1 second. Stay right there at the button feature. I'll have you just try to figure that out. But yeah, lady, I got it. She said her voice is breaking. I don't know. It could be a battery or something. It's something weird. You know, gremlins on a live show. That's what happens. Miss Maureen, I believe Colleen said she was on the still air, but I'll double check with that. So, all right, Tina, back to you. I'm going to let you take over.
All right, so I'm going to show you some quick photo collage projects because, you know, a Christmas is really about family and memories. And it's always nice when you can incorporate some family pictures into projects. And I know we're talking about last minute gifts, so we don't have hours and hours and hours to do stuff. So I've got a couple ideas for you. So let's go check this out. So this first one, isn't that a fun shopping bag? So by the way, if you haven't made photo collages before, there are a bunch of free apps that you can use that you just drop your photos in, and they have shapes like this one. You can add text to it. But basically, I printed this out on the Print Moda. You can see a little bit of shine here because since it is a tote bag, I went ahead and ironed on the vinyl cover so it won't get stained as I'm out about using it. And then just basically lined it with a piece of cotton fabric and then made it into a pocket and sewed it onto a tote bag that I bought. So I didn't even make the tote bag. I simply took out the side seams here on the side, made the pocket, and sewed the pocket on. So now whenever I'm out and about and doing the shopping, I'm taking my family with me. So I love that idea. Again, it's super duper quick. Okay.
That's adorable, Tina. That's really, really cute.
Yeah, cute. And then building on that, right? So here's a banner. So our nephew just had a baby recently. So I made them a little family. Oh, here, sorry. Got a bigger view. Made them a little banner. So here you can see that I printed out the letters, and I'll kind of walk you through how I did that, and then added text. And then the rest of the construction is easy. I sewed fabric above and below. I put it in the embroidery machine and just basically picked my biggest hoop, and in the design center, put a fill in there, and then put a back on it. But in case you haven't used or done this type of thing before, basically, here was my photo collage, and I have it on paper just to walk you through, right? So lots and lots of pictures. And then in a graphics program, I just picked my font and my letters, and I kind of superimpose those on top of the photo collage. And then typically in most of those programs, you select all, and then you crop, and what you're left with is just the letters filled with your pictures, right? And then you can just add, you know, the names and everything else below it. So it's a quick and simple design process, but I think the end result is pretty amazing, right? Can you imagine being able to make that for your whole family in just, you know, not that very long, probably half an hour total?
That's really cool.
And then one more play on that same idea. Here we have using it as applique fabric on a pillow for grandma, right? So the same kind of pictures here, printed out with the Print Moda. Here you can see I printed it. At this point, I simply remove the carrier sheet from the back and iron the iron-on fusible to the back. And then let's pop over the ScanNCut, and I'll show you how easy it is to align your letters on top of the photos. Give me 1 second here.
We had your art spirit. We got a little sneak peek of that, and now we are going into the ScanNCut. There we go. Perfect.
So there's our applique letters, and of course I've got the printed fabric on the standard mat because it's got the iron-on fusible on the back. So I'll just quickly scan so I can see what I have to work with. And then it's as simple as just moving your letters, orienting them the way you like on the photograph. So quick. I love the ScanNCut. That scanning feature is a lifesaver. All right, so now you can see my letters are superimposed on top of the photograph, and then I'll just grab it and kind of move it. And what I like to do is line up the edge of the first letter with one of the edges of the pictures, or center, depending on the size of your letters, center a row of pictures right down the center of the letter. And literally that's all you have to do. It's just that easy. Let me finish orienting it here so you can see. And then I would simply say, okay, tell the machine to cut. And I would press cut, and I'd have all of my applique pieces here pre-cut and ready to use in my applique project. Isn't that amazing? I
That's
love that.
very cool. Hey, Tina, while you're over there, you've got just a quick question. Heather wants to know, can you just tell her a little bit more about that printable fabric?
Absolutely. So Brother has a couple of creative printers. We have the Print Moda and the sublimation printer. I'll be showing, well, I've showed you the sublimation already. The Print Moda basically has a fabric roll that feeds into the printer. So it's about 11.69 inches wide and 5 yards long. And you can basically send things to it from the Artspira app, or you can just map to it like any other printer in your house and send whatever you want to it. And so it prints out on 100% cotton fabric. And then it has that carrier sheet that I showed you a second ago that you'll remove. And that's just so it has enough structure to feed through the printer. And then you can incorporate it into quilting projects, applique projects, wall banners, all kinds of stuff. It's really awesome. It takes your ability to customize your projects to the next level. It's really cool.
Very fun. Thanks, Tina.
You're welcome.
These are some great ideas. Everyone's saying, thank you for the last minute ideas. Yes. All right. We've got Colleen back. Hey, Colleen, let's check your mic.
Okay. I think I found out the problem. Do I sound better now?
Yeah. Did an elf come in and elf on the shelf come and mess your mic up?
No, it was just stupidity on my part. I put the scarf on this morning so I could show it on and didn't think about the fact that it probably was covering up my mic.
There you go. Well, we can hear you great now. Do you want to start back at the buttonhole feature? And anybody who popped in, if you missed the beginning, you can go back and watch this when we're over. And she started with the scarf, but we didn't get along too far.
Okay, so the buttonhole feature is just crazy. You actually just put the button in the buttonhole foot. So now I don't have the button in mine because I'd already sewn it on, but I kept the size right. So you just put your button in right here and then move this up or down till it stays tight. And then pick whatever buttonhole you want. And the machine doesn't need you anymore. It goes, okay, I've got the button right. I've got the size right. I'll just make it perfect for you. And it makes it with just enough ease so that the button will go in and out of the buttonhole without fighting. Do you love that or do you love that? And that comes with most every Brother machine. And I mean, I love buttons. Buttons are fun. They're decorative. Now, the rest of this scarf is so easy that you're going to laugh. I wanted to make it easy, and I think I outdid myself. So I'm going to put it down here on the table so you can see. And I'm going to get the one that's finished out of the way so it doesn't distract you. And I've got the dimensions I will send to you, Angela, so you have them in case anyone wants them. But what I did was I just cut a long strip of fabric and I basically just held it up to me for the right size. And it actually, I cut mine at 54 inches long and 9.5 inches wide. And then what you do is you're going to turn up about, 4 or 5 inches. And you'll understand why in just a minute. And you're going to put in a buttonhole and you're going to do that on both ends. And you want that deep hem because when you button on the pocket and your hands are cold, I'm going to move it this way, sorry. And your hands are cold, there you go. It isn't always easy to get it right. And I've done it with other things, but a button is so sturdy and so handy. So now when I lift this up, you'll see that I've got a nice big flap. So let me pin this way so you can see it better. Nope, that won't work. What happens is when this is unbuttoned, you can pull it way back up to here to get it in with your gloved hands. So the purpose of this is to be able to hold a dry pair of gloves or anything else you need when you're outside running around. And for those of you, there are a few of you who travel around, this I found out as I was working with it, is the absolutely most perfect thing in the world to wear on an airplane. Because, and you wouldn't use flannel for that, but you would use something else. Why? It's got 2 great pockets to keep the stuff that you're always trying to grab out of your purse or your travel bag. You know, I always try to get situated before, when I get on the airplane, I try to get situated so that I'm not going to bother the person next to me, especially on these longer flights. Sometimes I don't care if they're mean. No, I'm just kidding. But this is just a really, really beneficial because it's so doggone simple. Now I've got two really nice deep pockets, and when I'm going to stitch this one, and you're going to see I'm going to stitch it right up in here, and because I have the stripe, it's easy to see. Now I cheated on this one, and I'm not using a straight stitch. I'm using what's called the broken zigzag. So come with me to the machine, and I'm going to go up here to my utility stitches. And this guy right here, it's 1-15 on this machine. I call it a broken zigzag because it's just really a zigzag stitch, but it takes 1, 2, 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3 to the left. What that means is if you have small children, grandchildren, people who make things into a big mess, it's really, really easy to repair. But I like to use it for this because it is absolutely indestructible. So I'm going to just start right here, and I've already got the tie off and cut stitched, so it is going to do a nice little back stitch. And I'm just going to do one side so you can just see how this works. It's really super easy. And I'm sitting here with my foot on the foot controller, and I unplugged it earlier, so it won't work if you do that. Back stitch, and whoops, let's choose the correct stitch. There we go. And I have this at default settings. Notice there are many, many settings, but I'm just using default. And then let's just go. We're going to let it rip because she knows what she's doing here. And again, I love this one because it is just absolutely indestructible. Says the mother of 2 boys and a lot of boy grandchildren. And then I'm going to touch it, tie it off, cut. And now I need to do the other side, but I'm not going to do it right now because you don't need to watch me do that. You know how to do this already. So notice that I pinned these edges out so that they're straight, so that they don't shift. Now, here's the hard part. You put the top on, you line it up, and I'm going to pull these pins out and put them this way and this way because I don't want to stitch. Well, actually, I don't even need them in there anymore. Yeah, I do because it'll shift. When I put my fabric on, I'll just pin it here. And here, so that won't shift on me. And you can already tell how easy this is because I'm going to just simply stitch all the way around it. And I'll leave about a 6-inch opening for turning, which is not a big deal, of course. And that's it. Now, what I did is I stitched straight stitch around it and then turned it. And then to just make sure, I'm going to go back and top stitch it so that it can't shift. And it looks like one edge is a little too long. I got a little wild with my cutting there. So I'll need to trim that guy off. That never happens at your house, right?
Nah, never. Hey, Colleen, while you're up there, just a couple of questions. Could you just read off the measurements one more time? I got the measurement for the scarf. I think you said 54 inches long by 9.5 inches wide. Is that correct?
Yeah, 9 inches wide, 9.5, whatever. It depends on how wide you want it. This is really for an adult. If it's for a child, shorten it up and make the width skinnier. Okay,
and what about the pockets?
So the pockets are really easy. The 2 pocket pieces are 9.5 by 9.5. Okay. Obviously, they have to be the same width.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, this is about as easy and fast as a project. I mean, it just takes, well, you see how fast this went, and I didn't have anything pre-done except my pieces cut, but you see how quickly and easily this is, and I threw the other one on the floor, but here's the finished one, and you can, yeah, there you go. There's the finished one. A really nice button pocket, and it's a deep button pocket. And it folds way, way, way back. And then I top stitched right along here. I talked about that's where I use that triple zigzag stitch. I top stitched along here so that nothing can go up into the middle of the scarf. It only goes up as deep as the top of the pocket. So I'm hoping that you can see that. There's the button. And then it's about 3.5 inches above that, because you want room to stick your gloves in there. And yes, I tried a pair of gloves, and I tried a little flashlight and a bunch of other different things in there. It really, really will hold quite a bit. You do have to balance the weight so it doesn't shift off of your body, but it's just so quick and so easy. You still have time to turn these out for Christmas.
Those are really, really cute, Colleen. Tina, isn't this adorable?
I love it. And I love the idea for the airline because, I always have that one extra thing that I'm trying to stash in a bag at the last second.
Yes. Actually, I'm thinking of my husband's phone in one, my phone in the other, because it's always like, where's my phone? I got to dig through the bag. And they're both so heavy that it would just keep the scarf on just perfectly.
That was my thinking. And then the other piece of that is the phone can't go through security, right? I mean, they get their knickers in a knot. So I can have all the stuff I need in the scarf, roll it up, throw it in my bag. Then when I'm on the other side of security, I just take it out and put it back on, and I'm good to go.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Everyone's saying this is such a cute, fun project. I'm even thinking of this, like you said, this is an adult size, but for kids, what a great project if this was sewn out of fleece, put their little gloves in there when they go to school, tied on, they'll probably still lose one glove, but that's just the facts.
That's why there's 2 pockets, so you can have 2 pairs of gloves, because kids lose one.
Perfect. Oh my gosh. Okay, Tina, did you have anything else? Because you already shared so much.
I do, believe it or not, I still have more. I mean, it was quick Christmas gifts, so I can get a lot of things done in a little bit of time, right?
Yes, and you have quite a few fans here that say they want to make your shirt.
Isn't it cute? It turned out so well. I used the glitter HTV for the applique fabric here. And then this was just a true type font that I turned into a zigzag fill. So it took no time. By the way, let me just show you. I'll come back. It's got side bows on it too. Looky.
Oh, the famous side bows. Oh my gosh. If I were to say what is the biggest trend this year for embroidery, it's got to be those side bows. Everybody's doing it.
It's true. And it's so nice that so many vendors are making the designs available for free. So don't hesitate. It's easy, it's fun, and they're readily available.
And very cute. Very cute. All right, I'll let you take it back over. Thanks, Colleen, for that cute scarf. We'll be right back.
Yeah, Colleen, I'm making one of those for my next plane trip for sure. All right. So I'm going to show you quickly how to make some ornaments. And so these are great for, vacation pics. They're great for like gift exchanges at the office where you don't need like really big gifts. And they're also great to incorporate in your gift wrapping. All right. So let's look at a couple examples and then I'll show you how I made them using the Artspira app. So you can see there's my dog again. He's so cute. Here's a picture of my daughters. We were on a trip in Croatia. So that's a cute picture of them. My nephew from his wedding. And then here's a picture of my mom from a trip we took this summer. So we're going to use the Artspira app and we're going to use the AI feature that's in it. And then I'm going to sublimation printed it. So let me just pull up the app here real quickly for you. All right, so here's Artspira. And so basically, I'm going to start with a new design. So at the bottom, I'm going to press the plus new. And then I'm going to make sure that on the line where it says embroidery, cutting, and printing, that I'm picking the one I intend to do. So in this case, it's printing. And then I'm going to pop in here to the Artspira AI. And then you can see the app gives you a bunch of different ways that you can render your photograph. I'm actually going to choose the watercolor because I want a fair amount of detail in the picture. And then it gives you some instruction in terms of what kind of pictures work out well and that kind of stuff. So now we're going to go to choose a photo. Mine's on my camera and it's in my download folder. So, all right, so here's the picture from vacation. And then once it comes in, I'm just going to go ahead and crop it, which basically means make it a little bit bigger. And once you have it set up this way, you'll say convert. Now this can take a couple of minutes, so I'm going to cancel out because I've already saved that picture. So let's come back in here and I'll just pull it out of my creations. So anything that you save is in that my creations folder. So here's the AI. Isn't that cute? My mom would be so happy because it's an adorable picture. And through the power of AI, she's just become like 40 years younger. So even better for that. All right. So my ornaments were round, and with sublimation, I would put the ornament down on the heat press, and then I would lay my print on top. And so since I have a round ornament and a rectangular print, alignment sometimes can be a little bit challenging. So what I like to do is just pop in here, and I'm going to add a circle on top that's going to represent where my ornament is. So I'm just going to press the plus sign at the bottom. Now this time I'm going to go to printing data, and then I'm going to go to basic shapes. And then in basic shapes, we scroll down just a little bit, I have a circle, so we'll say done. So now you can see that I have the circle superimposed on top of the picture. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to size it so that it maps well to my ornament. So my ornament's just a smidge over 3 inches across. So I'm going to size my circle to 3.25 because you want it to be a little bit bigger than the ornament. Otherwise, there's a tendency for you to get white edges, and that's not really what I'm trying to do. So just make it a little bit bigger. It's called, so you have a bleed out edge. All right. And then basically with my finger, I can just kind of move the circle on top of the picture until I have it arranged the way that I like. Okay. So far that's been pretty easy. I'll say okay here at the top. Now I'm going to go ahead and add text to this. I said it was from a vacation pic, so I'm just going to kind of memorialize that. So we'll do the T for text, and then I'll just type it in. So we were actually in the Pigeon Forge area. So let's see, I'm not sure I can spell pigeon right, but we're going to go for it here. If I spell it wrong, that's a whole different kind of memory, right? So type out whatever your sentiment is and say done. And you see the text now pops in over the photograph. Now, a couple of things, that's not the font that I'm in love with. So I'm going to change that, and I'm going to move it around and change the color. So in order to make those changes, I'll just tap the text, and then I'll go to the edit button at the bottom. And the first thing that, I'm not going to change the font. Sorry. Yes, I am. Sorry. Go right back in there. To change the font, it's the A over here on the left-hand side. And you can see that I've got all kinds of fonts here in a minute that I can choose from, right? And the list goes on and on and on. But I really like this Bayer and regular, so I'm going to choose it. And you can see already it's changed the font. And now I need to change the size too. So I have a size option here where I can hit the minus sign, but I have got a lot of size changes to do. So I'm just going to pinch it with my fingers and shrinky dink it down so it's close to where I want it to be. All right, and then I know that it needs to be a little bit less than 0.3 inches. So we'll just size it just like this, and I'll say done. Now, you probably can't see it very well here, so I'm going to do a couple of things. The first thing I'm going to do is change the color and make it white so that it'll pop. And then I'm going to go to the layout tab. And before I do that, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to move it. I want it to be superimposed on top of the mountains because then you can actually see the text better. But I don't know about you guys, but when I use my finger to move things on my phone, I invariably have them all crooked and they need to be straightened up. So here in the layout, I'll go to the rotate option and I'll just pick reset to 0. And then I have it perfectly straight. And then if I need to align it left to right a little bit, if I scrolled up here to the top, I've got left and right and up and down. I think I'm gonna take it to the left, just a couple like that. All right, so at this point, I've designed my ornament. So I'm done here. What I want to do here though is I printed the ornaments on the front and on the back side, so I need 2 copies of this. So because I did a lot of editing, I don't want to have to basically make the whole thing over again. So what I'm going to do instead is go to select all, then I'm going to say group. I'm going to group everything together. So now, even though I have several things on the screen, the app will see it as a single item. And then once I have that done, I'll say okay. And now I'm going to go to layout again. And again, with a paper, I want to rotate it 90 degrees. So layout, and this time we'll go plus 90. And then I'll kind of scooch it up here a little bit. And then I'm going to press the duplicate option here. And you have a couple of options here, number and tile. I know only 2 are going to fit on a piece of paper for me. But in case you're wondering the difference, if I do number, it's going to kind of cascade them over each other. If I do tile, it'll add 1 to the side, and then I can add additional rows. So if you're looking for them to be kind of laid out in a grid pattern, tiling is a good option. I'm just going to go ahead and use number here because I know I just have 2 that I can print. And so just arrange it so that both of them are within the red line, which represents the printing area of that 8.5 by 11 paper on the sublimation printer. And then we're all done with the design. So again, really quick, really easy. I love kind of the, to me, it's a really high-end feature to take a photograph, which, you know, we can all do on our phones, and then use the AI feature to turn it really into an artwork. Now, I wish I could paint like this, but I can't. But now I have a cool app that does all that for me. So I'm done here. I'll say, okay, and I'm done. Now I'll be prompted about whether I want to save it. I've already saved this one in my app, so I'm going to choose don't save here. But if you were going to, maybe you had a whole family picture here and you were going to make an ornament for everybody in the family, I would definitely save it, and then you can just pull it back out for repeated printing. So I'm going to say don't save though, because I have it. And then you notice here under the printer, I just want to make sure that it's mapped, that I'm choosing the sublimation printer, because both the sublimation and the print mode printer will connect directly to the Artspira app. And then I'll simply press print, and then it'll send it over to the printer and print it out on a piece of paper. So let's pop back over to the ornaments, because let's finish talking about the process to make it. So we'll go back over to the samples really quickly, because I've got to step out for doing this one. I'll put these guys on the side. Wouldn't they be adorable in gift wrap to just put them in lieu of a bow on a package? I think that would be super cute. So again, here's the finished ornament. And then here basically is one of the printouts from the printer. And you can see I've got the circle here. Now notice too, the default with Artspira when you send it to the sublimation printer is to mirror the print, because you're actually going to apply it upside down. And so if it weren't mirrored, all my letters would be backwards, right? So that's why the letters look like they're backwards here. That's on purpose. You can see the circle, which is kind of my target for where to put my ornament. Right now, I have a couple of different ornament blanks here. This one is ceramic, right? And these three are hardboard. It's basically MDF with a sublimation coating, and they make lots of ornaments in all kinds of different shapes. But this is one of the hardboard ones, and it's covered with this plastic on either side. And so the hardest part for me is getting a hold of this plastic part so that I can peel it off. And you're going to want to do that on both sides of the ornament, okay? And so once that's done, I typically clean it. I use lens cleaners, but you need to clean it with something that's going to get the oil from your fingerprints off it and any dust that may have collected on it really quickly, because all those will interfere with your print. And then from that point, what I do is, you see I have the little opening here for the ribbon at the top. So I make sure that that's oriented towards the top of my picture. And then I just basically get it in here centered in my circle. And again, that extra real estate that I have inside of the circle that's bigger than my ornament is just going to keep me from getting white edges on the final ornament. All right. So from this point, I basically take it to the heat press. It goes into the heat press with a paper side up. And of course, you're going to want parchment or blowout paper that's going to be underneath it and also on top. Because again, with sublimation, what happens to that ink is once it's in the heat press, it's going to turn into a gas, and the gas can move and stain your heat press, and you don't want that to happen. So the parchment paper keeps that from happening. And then it's basically for the hardboard ones, for the hardboard ornaments, it's 60 seconds. Let's see, I have to cheat and look. It's 60 seconds at 400 degrees. And for the ceramic ones, it's a little bit different. Those, you actually put the paper on the bottom and lay the ceramic ornament on top, and then put the blowout paper. And those basically cook for 160 seconds at 400 degrees. All right. And then once one side is done, you can take it out and then put the print on the other side and repress. And then you have two sides of the ornament printed, which is pretty awesome. I have to say, my husband had to tell me that I was all done making ornaments, because I got so carried away. It was so fun. I just was like, oh, what else can I make an ornament out of?
Tina, those are so cute. Colleen's over there watching on the side too. Those are so cute. And someone was saying, could you do stuff like the same thing with the print moda? Yeah, you could. I mean, I don't think I'd put it on an ornament, but you could do everything you just showed, send it to print moda, and have it for fabric too. I mean, that's a great idea.
Yeah, what would be really fun on the print moda is you could actually have them stuffed, right? Like you could put batting in the middle, and then you could even cut the edges with pinking shears if you didn't want to edge finish it and sew it together and have little padded ornaments. That'd be super cute. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so much fun. Amanda wants to know where you got the ornaments. Amanda, yes, you know it's not a brother item. She wrote it right after. Just do an internet search. If Tina wants to tell me, I'll stick it on the calendar over at angelawolf.com.
You can get them almost anywhere. Just search on the internet for sublimation ornament blanks, and you'll be overwhelmed by your options.
You know, it's really interesting because you're talking about sublimation blanks. I just recently, maybe a month ago, went to one of the sewing shows. So one at Houston Quilt Fest, the AI, I think I showed this before, they did this, and there might be new people watching. It's so much fun. Someone was asking, is the AI version only for subscription or is it free? And I don't know because I can't tell on mine.
I don't know the answer to that either. That's
I
the
don't know.
downside. A subscription, you don't know the things.
I know. So by the way, the Art Spirit app, there's a free version. You definitely want to download it. There's so many fun things, and it'll have just a box next to it if it's in the subscription side. So you'll know right away because it won't let you use it if it doesn't. So, but there's so many fun features there. Oh, you're welcome, Amanda. And also there was 2 more questions I wanted to bring up to you. Yeah, Mary Lou, yes, on the print mode. I love these new printers that work with the brother. It's just so much fun, and it expands. You can customize just about everything. When you were talking about blanks, I went to that sewing show with my mom, and there was a few different booths there. And when I'm looking specifically for sublimation blanks, there's a lot of options out there. In fact, I ended up with more than I'll probably ever use, but I thought, oh, this would be fun. Oh, the mouse pad, that would be fun. Oh, on and on and on.
Yeah, I actually I read recently that you can sublimate on white acrylic, so I have some ordered. It's supposed to come in later today. I can't wait to play with that. So yeah, polyester is going to become your best friend when you start doing sublimation. Like now I go to the fabric store, instead of touching it all, I read what's it made of.
And I used to like bypass the polyester, and now, I mean, no offense if you like polyester, but for garments, not so much. But I keep looking now for that because it works great. Oh, you're gonna have to let us know how the acrylic works out. And Ginny, hopefully that answered your question. Just try it on if you have the free subscription, and let us know because I don't have the exact answer on that for you. Sorry about that. The app, Sue, is Art Spira. I'm gonna write it in and drop it in the comments. It's ARTSPIRA. You probably saw it on her phone, what it looks like. And I'll drop it in the comments for you. All right, we got Colleen back too. Colleen, wasn't that fun, those ornaments?
That was really fun. And now I have to go buy some because I don't have one and I need it.
We definitely need it. I mean, honestly, and somebody's going to have to say, that's enough. It's time for you to do something else.
I had to laugh when you said that because I can certainly hear my husband saying that too.
Uh-huh.
You know, I was just talking to my sister right before this show, and we're going back and forth. We've been so busy, and it's like, I don't have enough time to go shopping and things like that. And all of these could be done in just, if I spend just a couple hours here in the afternoon, they'd all be finished. I'm loving the scarf that you made, Colleen. My nieces, I think, would absolutely love that. I think my nephews would probably destroy it, so I'll keep it to my nieces. they would be like hanging from the basketball hoop with it. That would not be good. Not literally. I mean, like swinging. That's probably the better word. And the ornaments, what a great gift idea that they can keep forever.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some of those. That looks like fun.
That looks like a lot of fun. All right. I'm just going, anybody have any questions? Roll them through.
I just couple while we're waiting for questions. I mean, since we, quick Christmas gifts, we have room for some other stuff. You want another gift wrapping idea?
Oh, yes, Tina, yes.
All right. So, you know how we all love freestanding lace, right? Well, when you stitch it out with white thread, then you can pick a pattern. So here's a little gift bag. Hold on, sorry, while I get oriented here. So here's the snowflake in white thread, right? That's how we would ordinarily think of it in freestanding lace. But check it out when you start using the sublimation printer, right? Look, you can see the little dragonfly that's superimposed on here. Or maybe you want to do an ombre snowflake for your gift wrap. Or, I don't know, how about a little heart with a little tie-dye impression, or even an angel? So for those of you, and I know we have lots and lots of brother fans who love freestanding lace, just think about how fun it would be to stitch it all out in white, because then you can fit as many of them in the hoop as you can. You don't have any color changes to manage. And then when you're done, you can colorize them or theme them to whatever you want to do for your holiday decorations. Isn't that cool?
Those are so cute. So Tina, you must tell more. You must tell more. You said some of these were with the sublimation. Did you cut these in the ScanNCut?
No, this is freestanding lace designs that were embroidered in the embroidery machine in white thread, and you can actually sublimate both sides. I just sublimated one side for today, but literally stitch them out.
Oh, sorry. Wait a minute. So everyone understands this, because I knew this is what you're talking about, because we talked about this. This was always the wow factor when you first explained this. So you embroidered it out with what type of thread?
White polyester embroidery thread.
Yep, Teresa, you got polyester thread.
Yep, and then just rinse out the water-soluble stabilizer. I did rinse them in cold water, so they were a little stiff, right? I wanted them stiff for gift wrapping purposes. And then once they dry, just put them in the heat press, lay your sublimation print on top in between the 2 layers of parchment paper, 60 seconds at 400 degrees, and you could have freestanding lace in whatever color or pattern you want without a single thread change.
Oh my gosh. So, I'm just thinking of something for everyone here that has the Stellaire or the Luminaire or the Avenir. They all have freestanding lace in there that's already built in. You could fill up these huge hoops and get a ton of these done in no time at all.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Oh, I like that one. Everybody's saying, I love that one. Okay. Let me go back to the AI. We're switching. You guys have given you time to put in your, yes, you can sublimate on polyester ribbon too. Good idea, Dee. Never thought about that one. So for the AI feature, Ginny, Vicki has a great suggestion. Make sure that you've updated your app. There's a section that says AI, and I'm just going to look on mine real quick. Well, actually, Tina, you have your Art Spirit app hooked to the screen. Do you want to show her how to get to AI?
Yeah, no problem. Give me a second. Wait my phone up here.
Mine's loading. I just had to do an update today as well, but I haven't been in there for a little while. So I'm going to bring Tina up so you can see this a little bit better.
Okay. So basically, I'm going to go to the home screen. So to get started, if you're starting brand new and you haven't saved anything in a folder, it's the plus new option at the bottom. And then you can see it brings you to this screen. So then you can actually use the AI feature for embroidery, cutting with the ScanNCut, and also for printing. So decide, what equipment you want to use to make your project. I showed you printing earlier. So with it open, just pop up here to the Art Spirit AI at the top. And then again, you're presented with all the different styles that you can use to render your photograph, right? So kind of if you wanted a black and white or a pencil sketch, it's the top one on the left. You have different levels of detail. I personally am a big fan of crayon and watercolor, but I mean, they're all really good options. So you click on here. It'll again walk you through some tips on how to choose photographs that work really well, right? Once you're done there, you just basically come in here, point it to oh, by the way, here's another one of my dogs that's in AI. Look how cute they are, super cute, right? Well, my kids won't give me any grandchildren, so these are my little toddlers that I have they're my placeholder for my grandkids someday. And then just kind of come in. Here's the picture of my daughters that I made into that ornament, right? Just do that and then press convert at the top and give it about a minute and a half or so, and then it'll render it as an AI. And then once it's done, you can scroll between the different styles if you want to see, oh, well, maybe I would have liked it better as a, as a black and white photograph. And it does look like, I had my husband do some testing, it does look like you need the subscription to use the AI feature.
Yeah, you know what, Tina, when I just logged in mine, it has the crown next to it. And I saw the crown on your phone too when you have it. So if it has the crown, then it's a paid feature. And I see that everybody found it. So Ginny said, I have it. Yay.
It's really fun. And honestly, it's way cheaper than plastic surgery because it's going to take like 25 years off your picture.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, I loved my picture, so that was pretty fun. I'm gonna have them hanging up like all over the place. So thank you for showing that.
Yeah.
All right. Do you guys have anything else you want to share? I'm watching all the comments. I get the best job because everyone's like, I'm going to try this. I'm going to do this. Colleen.
Oh, I don't have anything else. I think we should get out there and play.
I totally agree. I totally agree. Tina, the shirt that you have on, definitely a game changer. And there was one more comment about your backdrop. Somebody wants to know, they said that quilt is gorgeous behind you.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind. It's a pre-printed panel that I just added border strips to and did edge-to-edge quilting. Used the ScanNCut for the little ribbon details on the green border strip and 2 border patterns. So it was probably an afternoon's worth of work.
Oh, that's it. Amazing. Beautiful. Everybody's saying thank you. Thank you. All right. I think we got all the questions. And yes, in case I forgot that, Teresa, yes, it was polyester thread. Polyester thread. I'm going to try that. That's one that this afternoon I was working on things anyways. I've got the just a whole bunch of projects. That's something that can embroider while you're hanging out. So I would love to know in the comments how many of you have downloaded Brother's other apps. It depends which machine you have, but the Stitch Monitor app. I was playing with that earlier today because it will tell you if you're running out of thread, and it lets you know right there if anything's wrong right on your phone. So I could be over in the other room wrapping gifts or working like I usually am over there, and I'll know right away. So I would love to know, because a lot of people said they didn't even realize Brother had all these apps. So I think I have to remember to keep reminding them, and that one's totally free.
Yeah.
I rely on that app because I'll go downstairs and invariably I'll head downstairs to get a cup of coffee. And my app will tell me, not now.
Yep, Mary Lou has it on her phone. Yep. Well, this was a great show. Thank you so much, ladies, for all. Teresa said she hasn't used it yet. A lot of people are saying that they didn't know about it yet. Now you do. Yes, so it's a free app. Look it up. And actually, if you have the Stellaire or the Luminaire or the Avenir, when you go into your screen, it will help you set up. You just go under the settings, and I think it's under apps. Pretty easy. Go to apps. It'll help you set up Artspira, Stitch Monitor, and also I always forget the other one. What's the other one that goes with Stellaire?
My Design Snap.
My Design Snap. That's it. Sounds like 4 letters. All right. Everybody's saying
take your picture.
The apps are located. If you go to your app store, any app store, regardless of what phone you have, go under the apps. Let me just see here. I think I just opened Stitch Monitor here. I'll show you what it looks like. Here you go. This one. Hi. Win. There you go. That's what it looks like. I'm already in there working. I don't know who just came in my door, but somebody did. Maybe they want to embroider. Oh, thank you. Hey, Lynn. Merry Christmas. I hear this quiet door. It might be the elf on the shelf. I don't know. All right. Everybody's saying thank you. Yes. And you'll have to check. I'm not sure exactly what exact machines they work with, but Stellaire, Luminaire, and Avenir. Am I missing anything, girls?
The 10 needle and the 6 needle too.
Yeah. It's for Wi-Fi. I don't think it's with the Bluetooth machines. All wireless embroidery machines. Does the app work with all wireless embroidery machines? I can't exactly answer if it's every single one because there's a lot of I don't know. Do you girls know?
No, but sometimes you just have to try it and see, because I know in my house, my sewing room seems to be off limits to communication with the outer world, and I had to get a booster for my room. I don't know why, but I do, and now that I have that, I'm fine.
Yeah. So test it out. I know the top 3, which I always like to say that, and then the 6 needle and the 10 needle, like you mentioned. But through the years, your machine, depending on what machine you have and what upgrades you have and things like that. But, you can send something to your ScanNCut using My Connection. I was just scrolling through a lot of the deals that Brother and Brother dealers have right now. And there's a lot of them. So when you go to your Brother dealer, maybe ask for a little tutorial or say, which ones of these will talk to each other if you haven't watched our shows and you wanted like a quick answer. But you've got the ScanNCut the print modas, sublimation printer, the machines, and the embroidery machines. I saw there's some pretty good deals, and you've got like what, 2 weeks to tell Santa to bring it to you. And don't
I saw
forget
some
to buy
great deals.
products. All right. Well, this has been a wonderful lesson. Carolyn's saying it works with my 6 needle and luminaire. All right. Thanks. Everybody's saying thank you. No, the Dream 2 does not have Wi-Fi. Nope, it does not. So, well, this has been a great lesson. What I love about the gift ideas is that you guys also share a lot of tips about the machines, like sewing on the button and the buttonholes and all the fun features. And this is so much fun. So when you try these, when you guys share these, don't forget to use #BrotherSews because they love to see what you're working on. So, well, thank you so much. I believe, you know what, I'm kind of sad to say this, but this is our last show of the year because, am I right? Next week's Christmas, the week after is New Year's, that fall on the same day as the show. So we will see you, all the Brother Sews fans, in 2025. I can't believe I'm hardly saying that. 2025. Well, thanks for the gift. Yes. Have a Merry
Happy
Christmas,
holidays.
Happy holidays, and Happy New Year. We will see you next year. Till next time, happy sewing.